Hello, I'm Tom and this is my friend Adine, and today we're going to show you how to make hats, neck warmers, and gloves for people that are really, really cold. Here in Burlington we've been down to almost 20 below, and there are a lot of people that we've given out more than 100 of these on individual days to people that are freezing. First thing I want to talk about is the fabric, the fleece that we're using. The fleece, Adine, if you could stretch it, it stretches more in one direction this way than it does in this direction. When we glue it, you want to make sure that the stretchy direction ends up going around someone's head. The rectangle is roughly 16 inches by 23 inches. We found that most adult heads, the stretchable fabric, if it has a circumference of about 20 to 22 inches, that works for most adults. Now you're going to watch Adine glue it. And what he's doing is he's putting a drop of glue about every 2 inches down the length of the fabric, instead of a continuous glue seam. What the drop of glue does is it lets the fabric still stretch and be much more comfortable to wear. So after he has the drops of glue on both edges of the seam, then he folds the seam over and creates the cylinder that has roughly 20 to 22 inch circumference. So now we're going to set that aside and let that cool, which will let the hot glue dry. Now he's going to take a piece that we previously fabricated and he's going to trim the edge with scissors. And the trimming means that you get a nice roll. We're making these so that they're incredibly warm. The incredible warmth comes because under the neck and chin you have 3 layers of fabric. So now that he has that part done, he's rolling the first roll, and he's just going to tack that with a little bit of glue. And then he'll get ready to do the second roll. That little bit of glue holds the fabric in place. He's now putting the sleeve in, the piece of cardboard, which allows him to make sure that he has at least a 20-inch circumference. That's a 10-inch wide piece of cardboard. And now he's putting a drop of glue about every 2 inches all the way across underneath the roll. You notice he's keeping the tip of the glue gun underneath the fabric, and that way you don't get glue tendrils coming out all over. And he's now repeating on the other side of the hat. Okay, now we set that aside, and we have, that's a finished neck warmer. Why don't you trim the edge there? And if we're making a neck warmer, once it's trimmed, that would then be the finished piece. When you're cutting the fabric, it's very important not to get second cuts. We're using $15 to $20 scissors, which gives much better cutting control. And again, you set this aside and let the glue dry. Here's one that the glue is already hardened on. And what we're going to do is use this. We can either use these directly as neck warmers, or we use these and make them into hats. For making these into hats, the next step is you turn it inside out. And here we have one that's already been turned inside out. And we're going to turn this and make this into a hat. So by turning it inside out, he then puts a row of glue all the way along the top inside seam. And because that doesn't stretch, these hats are much better for people that have more hair or like to have more breathing room around the top of their head. We have another hat here, which is a 3-corner seam hat on the top. And again, he's going to do a continuous row of glue. And this hat again has been turned inside out from a neck warmer. And you can see how it's been cut to give you the shape of a more finished hat. And we have the continuous row of glue going along the seam. And then he's going to seal that down. And then we're going to set that aside. So that'll again take a few minutes for the glue really to harden up. Now, if Adine, you grab those which are the finished hats, that's a neck warmer. Do you want to put that one on, and that hat on, and I'll take that one, and that one. So the neck warmers go on. If you want to put the neck warmer on. So the neck warmers go on with the rolled side up, other way around.
Na drugą stronę ukryję. Tak ukryję tam.
You really take it off and put it on upside down, the other way around.
Drugačije ukryję. Skini to taką, za to
Yeah.
naglą.
And for fashion, my wife tells me I should wear the seam in the back, not in the front. But you can see the neck warmer with that. Then the hat. And the hat, there's several ways to wear it. And what we found is that the hats, by doing this in a food shelf or in a food pantry, we can custom design them for the clients. We often put a little plastic jewelry on them or do anything else to make them pretty. And then if you pull it up around your chin, pull it up over your neck, yes. And that way, Adine is now dressed for 20 below, or if he had to, he could probably spend the night out on the street when it was 20 below and not get bad frostbite. Thank you, Adine.
Okay.
Hope this helps you. If you have any questions, please let us know.